Good morning.
Happy Wednesday or Tuesday. It's Tuesday today.
Are we sure?
I hope this video is working because it's been very
it looks like it's fine
spotty
on our...
here, so it's very strange.
Good morning, Jeff.
So it is a very lovely day here in Mexico. The sound seems to be working. I have half a cup. It's the last half cup of coffee, so you know there's going to be tons of sediment.
Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning from Cowtown to you too, Leslie.
No, we can't say good morning from Cowtown. We're not there.
To Cowtown then. Fine, be that way. So yeah, a whole bunch of weird crap going on in the world today. So Israel has a study, 800,000 people, and it shows that people with the vaccine are like 13 times more likely to get certain issues and up to 27 times more to get certain issues. So all of that crap that they keep saying, that's why we need 3-5 booster shots every 5 months. So yeah, not excited about that. I'm excited though because we've had the actual disease and apparently our proteins, etc., through the frickin' roof.
Except for they're not showing up on any flippin' tests.
Yeah, it's weird. That Salud Digna test that I was talking about, the blood test that's supposed to check for COVID.
Which was a week ago today.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
You guys went Wednesday? Do I have lipstick on my teeth?
Don't
get that close.
Good
morning, Jolene.
No.
Good morning, Kurt.
Good day, good day.
Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Cheryl.
Woot!
Wow, we got lots of people watching us this morning.
So what the hell do you want to talk about today? Christie's mom, did she take possession of that house yesterday?
She did and started moving in.
Did you talk to her?
Just by chatting because she was tired.
Okay. Yeah, I guess when you're a certain age... yeah. Sorry, had a call. Can you repeat the 13% thing, pretty please? No, it's just about an Israeli study that came out at the end of last week. You can find it online. It's
maybe until Google hides it, like everything else.
It's actually 13 times more likely to have issues if you've had the vaccine and then are submitted to the virus. So all of that crap about the hospital, etc., is only true if you're over 65. If you're any age under that, good luck to you, man. It's
good luck to you.
It's going to be the same as everybody else. So yeah, it's just a very strange world now. And even the fact that they're now making the vaccines mandatory, it's only mandatory if it's the new vaccine, which isn't even available in the US yet and probably won't be until 2022, 23. But they're making it sound like, oh, everybody's fine to take everything now and they can make you do it. It's still experimental, guys.
Good morning, Sheila.
Good morning. And yeah, the masks too, just wear underwear on your face. It's exactly the same.
Clean underwear, though.
Clean underwear. You don't want to have the butt in your mouth part. It's just...
Okay, you can stop because that's just gross. So...
We went by the office?
We went by the office. They saw that, though.
Yeah, but we didn't show inside the office, which I'm glad. But we didn't even go into the office yesterday when we walked right by. What the hell happened?
Well, they were slopping... Pargo, I don't want to get all covered in cement.
So apparently, the workers on the third floor are like, well, we got to get this pipe and we got to go down and it's got to go against your office wall. It's like, no.
We're like,
no.
Yeah, we don't think so.
No, because that's all going to be covered in advertising and
not only that,
awesome
they say
stuff.
It's going to be like this plastic tube. And we're like, no.
No, we can paint the tube. That's not the problem.
Then what is the problem, John?
Well, the problem is that our advertising and stuff's going to be there. And right where the tube comes down is where my security camera is going to be.
Security camera, yeah.
How do you do that?
And there will be security cameras.
Oh, I'm even thinking I might buy a laser or something to go from the top. So when it shines down, it'll have our logo on the ground. So at nighttime, I think it's going to be awesome.
So yesterday we went from downtown, as you guys saw, went to our office, and there was that bum sleeping on the bench.
That was so freaking weird, man.
Mm-mm. He's there every day, Liz said.
But he left 5 pesos, though, yesterday. Yesterday. Liz like, oh, he left me 5 pesos.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So clean up after me, baby. All good.
Don't talk like that.
Well, you know. So yeah, that was lots of fun, and apparently he is there. So then you're like, well, do we put spikes on there? And it's like, then nobody sits on it.
We're not sure yet what to do because it really won't fit in front of the new office.
It won't.
There's just no way. Does he know he left the pesos? Who knows, Jolene? It
Who
could have
knows?
fallen out of his pocket. He wasn't actually, he was hardly dressed.
Yeah, they're still up.
So, but Norman indicated he might be interested in it to see if he could use it as a kind of a waiting bench, which...
It cost me 9,000 pesos. And that was quite a while ago.
Well, but what else are we going to do with it?
We can have it upstairs. We can sit it over in front of the bell. So people could sit in front of the bell and just ring it all day long.
That's not happening.
It's going to be fun.
No.
Well, and we could put it somewhere else. We could put a plaque on it. There's a lot we can do with it. It's all welded into the ground. So we need a grinder to get rid of it regardless. And as soon as we get rid of it, you can carry it quite easily.
Pretty heavy to move. Yeah, it's iron and Perota, so it is heavy.
But the Perota's shiny now. It's just so ugly. It's just ugly.
Yeah.
Yep. So what can we tell these fine folks today? Well, we took...
August is almost over.
You thought it was over yesterday.
Yes. I thought yesterday was the last day of the month.
So we got this payment that we were expecting a month and a half ago.
Yeah, well, we were sick in July.
And it came in on, she thought it was like 3:30, the last day. Or the last day.
The last day of the month, yeah.
And she's like, how the hell are we supposed to get money
I had it in my
out?
head that yesterday, I didn't really pay attention to the date, but I just had in my head that yesterday was the last day of the month. And so I was a little angry. Still, though, I mean...
You're always angry.
It doesn't give us... Because we have to do certain things at the end of the month so we don't pay a ton of taxes on the money that we bring in.
Because it's a corporation.
We do pay our taxes. Don't ever think that we don't.
A crap ton of taxes.
But that means we're making money. So I'm okay with that. Yeah. But I don't like having to rush last minute to try to figure out what to do and how to move it and all that stuff. So that was my issue from yesterday.
The truth is, we're set up, and it was my bad. I told my accountant, I want to be set up just like Telcel and all those big guys because I want to be a big guy. Well, the problem is the big guy, you pay lots of taxes. You got lots of rules that you have to do. You have to follow. So yeah, never, ever, ever get an SADCV. It's good if you're going to sell shares. It's terrible if you're going to own it. So it is one of those things that I do regret doing because there are personal businesses, et cetera, you can get with lower taxes. And there are some that you don't even have to pay taxes for a couple of years or just like small, tiny percentages.
That being said, we get a lot more tax write-offs.
Yeah.
And benefits. Not benefits, but mostly tax write-offs because of it. So it's kind of a mixed bag. We have to pay a lot more in accounting fees. But at the same time.
So I did have a chat with a chiropractor friend of ours from Canada asking if they were looking for chiropractors in Mexico.
Oh, and he is the best chiropractor ever.
If you know anything about chiropractors practicing in Mexico, let me know. Because I have no clue on if you can just come without a license for chiropractic. Do you need to do something? But I'm terribly excited. He's just sick and tired of the way Canada's going. I'm like, you pal, we're talking to 20 Canadians just like you that are sick and tired and just want to get the hell out. So it is a very, very interesting time. I think wait until after the election before you make any big decisions. Because if that guy gets in again.
That guy.
He's not even in. He's only got like 32% of the 60%
vote that voted.
Yeah, it's so funny that you get like this minority government, and the guy's calling the shots for everything with 32% or 31% of the vote. That's just wow.
It's unreal. It is unreal. Canadian, that's just a bad thing that Canada has.
Well, I did read a great article this morning talking about how on a U.S. server, because I don't follow Canadian politics because why? But this U.S. Was talking about how Trudeau went to a campaign stop 50 kilometers outside of Toronto, and he left because the protesters so outnumbered the Liberals. The Liberals were like, "Yay, Trudeau!" They couldn't hear a damn thing because the protesters were like, "F Trudeau!" So it was that's kind of exciting for Canada, because if you know Canadians, we're just so kind, so polite, so nice that we just, hey, next time maybe just a little Vaseline when you do that.
Hey.
Sorry, because Canadians, they take crap. They do. And we're nice about it because we don't have a Second Amendment or a First Amendment for that matter, because you can actually go to jail for saying crap now on Twitter. You can go to jail now because Canada. What a freaking strange, stupid, terrible, awful world. When I grew up with kids that left the Soviet Union. They would tell the stories about how they risked their lives going into Yugoslavia or somewhere else to pretend they were doing something else just to escape and come to Canada. Now all these people are freaking out because they see what the hell is going on and they're like, oh my gosh, not again. So yeah,
not just in Canada though, but the whole world.
No, the whole world. But for me, it's just so weird because I grew up with so many people that came from elsewhere around the world escaping what we're growing into. Very strange. And I grew up, I got to tell you, when I graduated, I was a freaking nut job commie. I was. And I remember the moment I'm walking around an aisle at Costco. We were shopping. And I'm like, wait a second. There's no money in that. It occurred to me just like that. So then I became a liberal. And then we went to a liberal function and they paid us all. They gave us all these dinners and stuff, said, hey, just sign here, sign here. And then I'm like, wait a second, I'm not this either. So then I thought I became a conservative, a PC conservative with Ralph Klein governing the province and doing all this great crap. And that's when I realized I wasn't even a conservative, because a buddy asked me, he's like, what else did you give up on? Because I'm thinking, well, I believe this. And they're like, well, they don't believe that. Well, I believe this. They don't believe this. I believe, because I'm protesting the protesters that were at this hospital, the Grey Nuns Hospital they were talking about closing down. It was fairly new. And I realized I'm an idiot to support these guys, because there is no one party for anybody. We're all individuals. And that's why I belong to the Leave Me the F Alone party. Leave me the F alone. Let me raise my family. Let me take care of my money, etc. Now, in Mexico, it's against the law for me to be involved in politics.
Thank God.
Because if
otherwise you'd be in jail here.
I would be taking videos like the roads here. Horrible. Just freaking stupid.
Even with the truck, some of them are almost...
We've got to take a video and just walk around and show you the chasms.
There's this one place that we normally drive. I have to remember when I leave today to go out around the other way, but it's across the whole road. There's a little bit on the one side, so at first we could go up, but it's broken out more again, and so the truck could make it, but a car would never be able to make it.
Now that said, in Mexico, we pay the same taxes that the locals pay. So we have 4 lots, 2 houses on those lots. And we paid 1,500 pesos in property taxes last year, which is less than $100 Canadian, $75 US. So, but I don't mind paying for new stuff for my vehicle. But at the same time, I do like paved roads. And I want concrete used, because concrete doesn't wear down like the asphalt does. Why the hell do they use asphalt here?
Yeah. And actually, before we moved out here, we contemplated Nuevo.
Yeah.
But then realized Nuevo just wasn't for us.
But Nuevo has nice roads. And I mean, they're still mostly asphalt. And they'll do stupid stuff like dig it up, cover it up. That's all they do. I mean, it's not... I think it was worse in Bucerias. We lived by the ocean for 9 years, loved it, but everybody knew where we lived, and they're like always knocking on the door. But they did this incredible pave job. It was so wonderful.
Mhm.
This is probably 13, 14 years ago.
With paving stones.
It
And
was
it looked really nice.
beautiful. And then immediately after that, they're like, oh my gosh,
We have to tear it up again.
we have to do the water now. We have to quadruple it. So then they just stacked all the bricks and rocks on top of the work that they did. Then they're like, oh my gosh, the electrical. We have to do this. Then it was like the internet. We have to do this. And the roads are now just as bad as ours, except it's in the Golden Zone. Oh, well, it's not in the Golden Zone. It's actually
It's in the
in
Los Picos
Playa
area.
Los Picos, the Playa de Guanacaste
So,
area.
Jolene, I know that I only have 31 days till shopping in Texas, and I'm so excited to hit up some shops.
Well, I'm excited to go to Costco and a brew shop. I do want to go to a brew shop and just see what you guys have in the U.S. versus here, because here they got it. I mean, even to buy, what is it called when it partially grows?
Yeast?
No, the food. And then they get the enzymes and the diastatic pressure or whatever that I don't know. Barley.
Malted?
No, malted barley. Thank you. Malted. Thank you. It's malted. So yeah, and you can do that yourself. It just takes a lot of work, and we're kind of humid here. So yeah.
It would mold, I think, before it would malt.
So for those folks that have been asking about the hurricane, fermenting, yes. We are laughing at John about Costco. They look the same as they do in Mexico, but you got so much more stuff.
You guys have pickles at Costco, spicy pickles at Costco.
And the prices are better there. Anytime you have a U.S. Product that comes to Mexico, it's going to be more expensive because you've got your taxation you have to deal with, your currency conversion. So up there, I mean, you can get antihistamines for like $3 or $4.
Yeah, there are definitely things that we actually go to the States specifically for. One of them is a pill that I use for like joint pain and stuff because I have the plantar fasciitis and it works like a charm. I am out. So I'll pick up a few bottles when I get up there this time and not share with anybody except for maybe John. I might share with him.
Thanks. Last few days, I've been sneezing like crazy, and I haven't sneezed for months. That's weird. It is weird. And Zach says he's sneezing too. And I'm just chatting about this. I have no idea.
I haven't asked Lynn if she's been sneezing a lot because usually you three are sneezing all at the same time.
We are the invalids of this neighborhood. We've got a GoFundMe, trying to get some new body. And why didn't you guys tell us we were so fat a year ago? I watched some of the videos, and it's like, holy
John's like, Christie, come here. Look at this.
You're not going to believe this. We look like we're inflatable.
Inflated.
And still, we've got a lot to go. Don't get me wrong. But still, it is better.
We're both down about 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So that to me is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I feel better. I know I look better.
Yeah. I can fit extra large again and not extra large. And it will be nice.
And some of your extra large are getting too big for you too. It depends.
It will be nice if I can continue this to just go into large. Now, my issue is I've got a long torso, teeny tiny legs.
Yeah.
When I run, I look like a dwarf from below the waist. But, and that's why our vehicles have to have such high roofs because without that, my head is just, I'm kind of like.
Yeah. This. So he has to have long shirts. If they're not big, if they're not a little oversized, they have to be long, and that's harder to find.
Hurricane messed up the air quality.
That's
interesting. Yeah, we did have a hurricane. In our area in Bucerias, didn't have much damage at all. But in Vallarta, they had
just lots of water. I mean, it rained a lot here, but we don't have the rivers like Vallarta does. I've got something in my eye.
And where we are located in Bucerias, we're at the top part. So everything goes downhill.
We're in Upper Bucerias.
We're in Upper Bucerias, not across the highway, Upper Bucerias. That really annoyed the male Karen when we'd say that. When anybody'd say that. So yeah, that was... it was very windy here. Like our trees were just like, and we lost our jackfruit tree from about this tall, just snapped. And then when we got home yesterday, somebody had taken that tree and popped it over down at the end of our property. So thank you. Hat tip to that, whoever did that. But a child did die in Vallarta. And when you see the river, and nothing is more terrifying than a child dying, especially inside a home. You think you're protected in your home, and then the river just eats away and destroys, like the condo apartment building just fell down. And the dad who went to find his son, he broke his hands trying to get at this boy. And when they found him, he was obviously gone. And a woman was swept away in a vehicle. They didn't find her, but they're asking for drones because she was swept out into the water. They're asking for drones to go up and down the beach to see if they can find the body, which is terrible.
But they're also asking for people not to go downtown because the roads are so bad, and they're trying to get the big trucks in to do the work.
Because there are bridges that were wiped out. And when you're crossing the river, I got to show you just how terrible it was. I'm going to just see. I think I have it. You know, she sent it on WhatsApp, or if she sent it on Facebook Messenger.
Who?
Lynn. She sent that video of the river when we were crossing it.
I didn't get it.
I did ask for it, so just hang on, and Christie will talk for a moment. So answer any questions anybody has.
Nobody's asking any questions. Nobody's saying nothing. People are quiet. They're just listening to us blabber.
It wasn't scary at all. I mean, I wasn't scared. Christie was kind of concerned, obviously, because...
It's just because you know what damage it can do. So you just never know if it's going to get worse or what.
Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to show you
He's going to see if he can share this video of how high the river is. And someone said yesterday that it hasn't receded much because it really needs to... It really needs to recede. And good morning, Kira. How are you today?
So here we go. Here's the river. We are crossing. Now, actually, this is before the river.
This is before the river.
Because this is the river here. So here we're at the river now. It was so high and so wide that Christie's Spanish teacher, so this is even the Mayan Palace. We've got all of this. Mm-hmm. It is all full. It was so insane. This is the day right after the hurricane. And on the other side, there's a red truck in here.
Yeah, you'll see it in a sec.
Yeah, it is so crazy what happened here. So yeah, that was the river the day after.
Yeah, it was Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, I guess, because that was on our way home.
So yeah, that was the river. That's the Ameca River, just crossing Jalisco, going into Nayarit.
Are we where, Eva? We are in Bucerias. We are not right in Puerto Vallarta. We're about, from where the worst of the damage is, we're probably about an hour away because you're driving through city, right? So, but yeah, I mean, we got all the same rain. We just don't have the same flooding areas because Bucerias doesn't have the rivers going through it.
So in 2002, a year before we moved here, we had Hurricane Kenna come. And Hurricane Kenna still just went outside the bay, but it was the surge that came from the water that caused all the problem. Surge, yeah. This time, it was the water from the mountains. It wasn't the ocean that was the problem. It came from behind.
Yeah.
So this time it was different. Everything was different.
And that was weird too, because as we're watching the trees blow, they're going towards the ocean, not away from the ocean. And I thought that's very odd.
Yeah, it was. We watched the Kinetic Kinnins on YouTube. They had a great video of walking around yesterday.
And Shea Victor is down there. So that's another thing too. If anybody's here, if you guys want to donate money, there are PayPals and stuff. We're not accepting any cash, but if you want to drop off food and stuff or clothes, we have offered to let our office be the drop-off point in Bucerias.
From 10 to 2, Monday to Friday. For sure, the office is open. After that, you got to call us to find out.
Mm-hmm.
But the Kinetic Kinnins, they did a great job. They interviewed this one guy who has lived here for 50 years. He has never seen anything like this. And the water came into his house up to his knees. He was even saying how for 50 years, that means that he was here during Kenna. Like I said, Kenna came from the ocean up.
Mm-hmm.
This part came down from the mountains. There was so much water. It was crazy.
Well, if
how much
anybody's
water.
been on Facebook, they can see all the pictures because there's a million videos and photos, and people have shared them and reshared them. But it's a lot of water. I mean, and we're not the only place that got flooded, but
we were without electricity for 23 hours. And it was weird because we even had stuff that was dripping under our fridge. And it's like, do not open that. I don't want to find out what that is. But yeah, that was kind of odd.
We had nothing really perishable. I mean, we have cheese in there, but nothing that would, no meat or anything that was thawing in there. So,
but my son who lives 2 blocks away, he's like, yeah, is your electricity out yesterday? We're like, no.
Yeah.
He said, I've had almost 48 hours of no electricity.
Because his came back on and then it went out again.
Yeah. So they came over yesterday and we offered for them to sleep over because the grandkids.
And Chulita, she's pregnant. That's uncomfortable.
And that's all you care about. My son, you go sleep outside. But the ladies, they can be here. And as you know, we have a 3rd granddaughter coming. So Amelia. So that's going to be very fun for Christie and me.
And Jolene, because we get to shop.
They are, they're so awesome. They really are. I'm not seeing nothing on Facebook about Mexico's hurricane. It's done. It's over. It's
the hurricane is gone.
It's gone.
It's just pictures of the aftermath is what, because that happened on Saturday. So Saturday was the actual storm and through the night, but mostly rain through the night. The wind, I think, was done a little bit after dark.
Yeah.
And then
it was crazy because the trees were going sideways and then it was just dead.
So apparently we were in the epicenter.
And then all of a sudden, again, so much rain too. It was crazy. So yeah, even upstairs, like we get rain, and when it rains, we have lots of rain on the upstairs, just because it's open. But the other day, it was a lot of rain. And it just was flowing like a river through upstairs. That was weird. And we had so many leaves because the wind was so strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever seen wind that strong. I have solar panels. They're weighted down with concrete. I don't have the stands because lots of people lost their panels or the entire structure because the wind was so strong. But it did move 2 panels, just enough to knock them out. And not enough to be a concern, but I do have to go in and tighten stuff up there eventually. Otherwise, I'm going to lose 2 of the panels that are kind of loose.
So we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that.
Because we like our AC.
And it would have been difficult for us to lose, now that I think about it, because if you pull one, you pull them all. They're all connected.
They're all connected, yeah.
So it would be very, very heavy. And it also is very low to our roof. And I wanted to actually build a structure for the panels so I could have room to grow up there. I think we may just move the panels. We have to seal the roof, move the panels to the other side, and that way I won't interrupt the growth. You won't be higher than the panels. Because anytime you have anything blocking a little panel, it goes down every single panel. So you can lose a lot of electricity.
Well, considering the growing season is so short here, it doesn't make sense to do too much permanent stuff.
Actually, you can probably grow 9 months reasonably. Because in the growing zone that we are in, they actually don't recommend that you actually plant anything after July, August. Like nothing, because nothing will grow here. Now, 2 hours inland, which as the crow flies is still 50 kilometers or something. It's not terribly far, but there it's like 10 degrees lower than it gets here. And it's drier, which is why I want a ranch there.
I think we should maybe look other ways too. Go in towards Guadalajara, see what else is out there.
Yeah, but I think even that, mind you, with the new highway, it would be faster. And the nice thing,
and then we wouldn't risk getting stuck because I don't know how that road to Mascota fared.
Yeah, that road to Mascota is very strange because as you're driving down, we've talked about it before, but it goes on the side wall. You see all of this mud. You see these sort of giant stones. Then you see these rocks that are bigger than the Suburban, and you would have them fall into the road. And it's just very strange, the geology there. I have no idea how that was created. because you'd think you'd have the big rocks at the bottom and everything lighter would go to the top. Not there. So yeah, and that road, I think it's the third highway since we've lived in Mexico, because that road is so flippin' dangerous.
Yeah.
Like it will fall and you'll have like half of the road gone. Which, if you see the Kinetic Kinnins video talking about the Hurricane Nora, there's roads that it destroyed half of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of water, and that was the biggest thing, was the water issue.
So yeah, we are fine. Nothing really happened here.
Bucerius was pretty.
We just lost a tree.
It just
and lots of leaves.
Yeah, it was mostly just wind damage, right? So, and not bad wind damage.
And I have no idea what happened in Mazatlan or Colima. I know they had issues, but here, if your heart is in this area, please go to Che Victor, his Facebook page, and just donate. Or call us.
Or the Vallarta Food Bank.
Yeah.
The lady that runs the Vallarta Food Bank also lost her restaurant, Bonito Kitchen. It fell into the water. And so I skimmed over a post. It was quite a long one, and it's emotional. I wanted to read it later. But she talked about how she was obviously very upset. First of all, she lost her business. And then all these other people that are hurting, and she knew the little boy that died because it was on the same block. So she knew the little boy that died too. I don't know if she knew the woman that was in the water or in the car. But, she says, I can rebuild, but not everybody can. And so it was, so she runs the Vallarta Food Bank also. So between the Vallarta Food Bank and the Hand to Hand Brigade, which is what Che Victor does, and also the Amigos de Bucerius John Ozello Memorial Food Bank, they are accepting donations also. Those are three I know of for sure that I would trust 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there are others that I don't trust. It's just that I know these ones that we can trust them for sure.
Yeah. I own MexicoStrong.com. Don't donate money to MexicoStrong.com because that's my website. I don't need it, but I have it.
Alrighty. On that note,
all right,
we're gonna let you guys go, and we will see all y'all tomorrow.